There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him. I say, stay down. Do you want to mess me up? Do you want to screw up the works? You want to blow my book sales in Europe? There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out. My name is Emily Anderson. Here in Burlington, I am the owner-operator of Bluebird Fairies. Bluebird Fairies is a little enterprise, and it sort of holds the idea of these fairies as an oracle deck. People can buy the deck. People can buy, there's an app called the Fairy of the Day app. I also do fairy and demon drawing workshops because I very much still draw what's difficult in my life because it seems to keep coming as life sort of, you know, life just is full of those things you have to negotiate through. A bunch of years ago, was just feeling sort of heavy and confused with lots of thoughts and difficulties, and a roommate had a book called 100 Demons by Linda Berry. I just saw at the end she made the invitation to draw your own demons. And every night I named a demon, I drew it, and then I started to think, well, what can I do about this? So I would always write the word antidote and then write in whatever seemed to be the next step. The antidotes really did kind of hit home for me, like, oh, I can address this. And then I started to draw fairies. I don't know why, and I think that's just because there was some lighter energy around. We turned them into cards. And then they evolved into being an oracle deck or a pick a fairy and that's your fairy of the day. I remember when I broke my right arm and I started drawing and writing with my left arm, my left hand. And I just felt like I was really intuitive and different sort of thoughts came out that expressed myself better. So I thought, okay, I'm going to draw my demons using my other hand. You immediately have to be more compassionate with yourself because you are doing something that's difficult that you don't do every day, and then letting go of perfection. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to look like your other hands, what your other hand draws, and that makes it, I think, inherently much more creative and interesting. I'm more poetically religious, so I don't necessarily believe in God, but I love the stories. So in this story, the angels were on strike. And they were outside the pearly gates. And God got mad and said, I'm closing the gates. Get back in here. All the angels that did not make it back into the gates, when the gates shut and were locked, became fairies. I'm doing lots of studies in sort of, you know, what does it mean to be white and what is our, how can we hold what's going on and acknowledge it, and how can we give ourselves space to know how we're connected and yet how we can be part of the change. It's just very much a part of my background in coming to Vermont to work with the Bread and Puppet Theater. All our shows were about, you know, something's not right with this culture, you know, with this group of people are really struggling in this culture in which we live. How can we make this better, and how can we tell this story? And I think Bluebird Fairies is such a personal project of this is just me and this is just me doing my drawings, and yet realizing how these drawings I've done for years very in a lone way have become such connectors. Having an art studio here in this particular area is I just really believe in the South End arts communities. Hi Martha, great to see you. I guess I just really do want to assist people in being more positive, because I feel like, yes, there is great difficulty and hardship, and that's just part of life. But how can you balance that where you can acknowledge what's difficult, support yourself in finding, something you can do, but also unleash sort of a lightness. I think that I'm just still so amazed that these drawings that I did when I was alone have connected me in so many different ways with so many different people. Just the power of connection.